If you're in a networked environment, you can share your calendar with others so they can see where you are and what you're doing. If I was able to share my calendar, I'd be able to go to the Home tab in the ribbon, and in the Share group, I'd hit the Share Calendar button. But as you can see, I'm not on a network, so I can't share my calendar. But if your button is lit up, you can share your calendar with others, or others can share the calendar with you. If you want to open a shared calendar, go across to the Open Calendar button, and you'll be able to choose Open Shared Calendar, and you'll be able to see other people's calendars as well as your own. What I'd like to do though is I'd like to create a new blank calendar. Now the name I'd like to give this calendar is going to start with the word calendar, so that when Outlook organizes these folders into alphabetical order, all the calendars sit together in the same way as all the contacts folders sit together, because what we did earlier. So I'm going to give it the name calendar dash, and it's going to be an events calendar. I'd also like it to reside not under the calendar folder, but actually under Outlook. So I'm going to click on Outlook, and it's going to contain calendar items. So I'll click OK. And eventually I have another calendar here, which is my events calendar. I actually have 3 calendars: my personal calendar, the Bayrotters calendar, and my events calendar. If I want to see more than one calendar at the same time, what I might do is I might go down to the very bottom of the navigation pane and click the calendar button. Notice the shortcut key is Ctrl+2. When I click the calendar button, I have a list of calendars, and I can tick the ones I want to see. At the moment, I only have a tick on my calendar, and that's the only calendar I'm seeing. But if I want to see the events calendar, I'll tick that option, and now I see 2 calendars. I could also tick the calendar for Bayrotters, and now I see 3 calendars. When it comes to seeing calendars, you can see them side by side as they are here, or some people like to overlay them. How you would overlay a calendar is by hitting the little arrow that appears on the top of the calendar. So I'll click this to view an overlay. And now these 2 calendars are overlaid. And I can choose to bring this one to the front or bring this one to the front. And you can see the appointments for one calendar are just shining through on another calendar. And these are just shining through as well. I could overlay all 3 of them by hitting this View in Overlay Mode button. And now I'm viewing all 3 calendars in overlay mode, and I can choose which calendar I want on the top. If I want to put them back to side by side, I'd hit the little arrow again and go back to side by side mode. And I can see the calendar side by side, and I can turn off the calendars I don't want to view. Now, if you are going to share your calendar, one thing to be aware of is whether you should make some appointments private. You want people to know you're busy, but you don't necessarily want them to know what you're up to. When you double click an appointment, for example, you have the option to click the button Private. And this makes it private from other people so they can't see the details of what you're actually doing. So consider that when you're sharing a calendar. And I'll click the Private button, and I'll click Save and Close, and then you'll see that this is private.